Good evening, it's Rodney Allen Rippy, and you're listening to 90.3 FM RadioSuerte, and this is a special Sunday evening report. Global breaking news following up on a story that we had earlier this week. President Xi Jinping out of China, he has actually put the message out to dozens of African leaders, and the message is choose China. Xi Jinping hosted his 3-day summit, wooing all of the African leaders, and he invited them to the Great Hall of the People. Ping's entire motive was to convince the African leaders to deepen their ties with China. Also, the president had made scores of promises to the African leaders. He has a lot to fulfill, such as a $50 billion financial support collaboration. He said he would help create 1 million jobs in Africa, as well as tens of millions of dollars in food and military aid, and strengthen relations throughout the African continent by way of industrial, agricultural, infrastructure, trade, and investment. Africa alone is rich in resources, so the decisions must be made wisely so that outside sources do not leverage control through financial means and an olive branch that might have thorns. China said that they wanted to discuss 30 clean energy projects there in Africa, and so they were talking all sorts of ideas of green technology like solar panels, electric vehicles, and more. They do say that China is producing electric vehicles that are actually under tariffs with the U.S. and Europe. It seems as though China wants to start introducing electric vehicles there in Africa. We will be watching the outcome from this summit to see if the African leaders were greatly moved by the generosity and the offers coming from China. More global breaking news. Hamas has entered into new tactics as the ceasefire negotiations are trying to be ironed out. There is a new psychological element brought to this war. Hamas is using drip feeds of videos from the hostages. They say that some of these videos were supposedly the final messages of the 6 who were found in the tunnels. They say the purpose of this was to create fear, and Hamas is saying to its troops that if they are captured by the Israeli army, that they may kill them. So it's just to make their fighters fight to the death. This is further complicating the negotiation process as the top officials are trying to work on this ceasefire. As protests grow, now they're saying to Netanyahu that he is stalling the negotiations, and again, it's just the families wanting so much for their family members to come home. This complicated situation looms on, and we here at 90.3 FM are hoping that the ceasefire can be achieved. On to breaking national news. A mother of a 6-year-old was charged after her son took a loaded gun to the school and was passing it around so his friends could see it. Kearney King, 22 years old, and she has been charged with child abuse, child neglect, and/or endangerment, carrying a weapon on school property, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor, amongst other things. This is on the heels of the shooting that just took place earlier this week in Georgia. Police responded when they got a call of an individual at Geter Elementary School saying someone had a gun. The school staff member retrieved the handgun from the boy's backpack, and that's when the police were called. So we here at 90.3, we want all our listeners to know, if you have weapons in your home, make sure that they're secured and make sure that they are only accessible by the registered owner. Proper gun handling can help you avoid an incident that could easily be avoided. More national news. Former President Donald Trump, as you know, he's made some very sweeping claims about the 2024 presidential election being stolen. This time he has actually stepped it up, and he has made a threat and said that anyone who engages in unscrupulous behavior will be prosecuted. And so now people are starting to wonder what exactly is unscrupulous behavior. He continued to say, people be aware of this legal exposure, and this extends to lawyers, political operatives, donors, illegal voters, and corrupt election officials. Those involved in unscrupulous behavior will be sought out, caught, and prosecuted at levels unfortunately never seen before in this country. That was a statement from Donald Trump. Now people are starting to wonder, is this actually legal, what he's talking about? We will have to see, will this turn out to be a witch hunt. We will see how far this threat will go. On to local Orange County news. We have seen our shares of earthquakes, fires, and other unexpected things, so you always have to be prepared. Do you have a plan for your family in case of an emergency? Are you organized? There are so many major things that are going on. You want to have time to be prepared so you can react. All of these things are very, very important, and they oftentimes say if you are prepared, you will have a place where you have all of your car titles, passports, insurance policies, birth certificates, and other precious items all in one place so that you can have quick access if you need to go in an emergency. And sometimes you really just need to go. Sometimes you don't have time to look for all this stuff, and you're better off to get out and be safe. 90.3 FM had the pleasure of attending the Disaster Expo USA at the LA Convention Center this weekend, and we met some incredible principals of companies that have technology, preventive techniques, and technologies that could be used in an emergency. I met groups that had all kinds of business. One company had these very thin pillow-like material. They would actually react like sandbags. So in case of an emergency, instead of you having heavy sandbags sitting around, you had these very lightweight sheets, and all you would have to do is soak them in water. They would expand into a water wall of sorts. It was incredible seeing this type of technology. We were there, and we actually had a great conversation. There was a man there with a company called Wildland Fire Bully, and just really incredible, the technology. One of their big things was, in case of a fire, their technology would see it at the smoke level, therefore give people more warning time ahead. If you'd like to know more information, go to wildlandfirebully.com. Again, wildlandfirebully.com. I'm hoping to be able to get an interview with, and we definitely hope to be able to connect up with this incredible group. There was also another gentleman there who had these containers that could pull in air and actually convert it to 96% hospital grade oxygen. This was going to be great for emergency situations. It was incredible to see this type of technology up close and personal. At the Disaster Expo USA, I had the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Sabe Benning, and he is the CEO and technologist behind Onto Solutions, an incredible vendor that was there displaying at this year's event here in Los Angeles, and this is what he had to say. Hello, it's Rodney Allen Rippy, and you're listening to 90.3 FM RadioSuerte, and we are here in Southern California, in Los Angeles, at the Disaster Expo USA, and I am here with CEO Mr. Sabe Benning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming.
It's incredible the technology that is here present at this expo. And so tell me, when it comes down to disaster relief and emergencies, what does your company have to offer?
So our company has been around for 40 years. We have oxygen generation systems for hospital use. So these systems are completely independent of any infrastructure. If the highways are down, if the bridges are down, the pandemics and whatnot, our system, so this particular system that you're looking at today, it produces 1,000 liter per minute oxygen. This 20-foot container will feed a 250-bed hospital. So this, what we do is our system, what it does is normally when we're breathing normal oxygen, it's about 21% oxygen in the air, what normal people breathe. But when it comes to for patient use or a medical grade oxygen, you need to have a minimum 90% purity level. Wow. And our system produces 95 to 96% purity level, and we have a patent on this technology. What we do is our systems take the ambient air in, we remove CO2, we remove nitrogen, we remove any other pollutions that are in there, and we get the purity level up 95, 96% purity level.
Mr. Benning, right now in the news, what's going on, especially over with Israel and the war? They say many hospitals have been hit. In emergency situations where people are needing emergency care, would your application be a good fit?
Absolutely, it'll be a great fit because what we're seeing is that a lot of the critical infrastructure is being attacked, whether they're bridges, whether they're highways, whether they're even oxygen tankers or the tanks outside of the hospitals. With our system, it's on-demand oxygen. So as long as the hospital have electricity, they will have complete oxygen. Every hospital typically have a backup generator to power everything else. So they will never have to worry about rely on outside oxygen delivery delivery. If the outside infrastructure or logistics is compromised, then they have a complete solution, because hospital, as we learned from the pandemic, it cannot be without oxygen. So we have systems been running for over 41 years now, and we have over 200 installations in 25 countries where the hospitals have taken control of the oxygen completely, and they're completely independent of relying on critical infrastructure outside the hospital.
Do you have a means of this oxygen that you generate being captured so that they could retain it?
Of course, yes. So normally when our system goes, it's a plug-and-play system. So this 20-foot container could be flown in by a helicopter or could be trucked in on a trailer. Within 3 hours, we would connect it to the power supply of the hospital and oxygen supply of the hospital, and they're up and running. The system also comes with a separate cylinder filling station where they can have existing cylinders. They can fill those cylinders. So during the day, 2 p.m., the hospital needs the oxygen for all the surgeries and everything else. So the system is designed, the algorithm is designed to feed the hospital first, but at nighttime there's nothing going on. So you can fill small cylinders up to 600 cylinders on a nightly basis. So you have your cylinder, you don't need to rely on any outside infrastructure.
Wonderful, Mr. Sabi Benning. And again, how can people learn more about your technology?
Please go on to solutions.ca, and we have lots of information available there. Our contact information is there. Please reach out. We're happy to answer any questions. And thank you for coming and giving us the opportunity to be at this conference and present our technology.
On to Solutions is fantastic, and that's going to do it. I also had the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Mark Benthian. He is actually Executive Director over Earthquake County Alliance, and so they're talking about the big shakeout, and this is actually an awareness campaign that they always do. And for more information, you can definitely check them out at shakeout.org. That's SHAKOUT.org. And I'm hoping to be able to secure an interview with him. Fantastic guy, and all of the technology and all of the data is really important, so we could kind of get a jump on things. And so big shout out to Earthquake County Alliance for being there at the event. On to Orange County weather. It has been hot. I'm telling you, it has been smoking. It's beyond 100 degrees. And so we hope everybody is taking care, making sure your pets have plenty of water if they're outside. Make sure that you give them a break because it is so warm outside. Today is Sunday. It's over 100. They're saying that things are going to start to cool off a little bit as we go into the week. Monday's going to be 99. By Tuesday, it's supposed to drop to about 90. And hopefully by midweek, we'll be right at 80 degrees. What's hot in the OC? Well, if you like spooky stuff, some people love the holidays. So on September 14th and 15th, it is Creep It Real. And so that's going to be at the Heritage Museum here in Orange County, 3101 West Harvard Street in Santa Ana. And so there's going to be 120 spooky vendors there. So if you like spooky stuff, you'll have a good time. And next weekend, September 12th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., if you are a fan of boy bands, it's all going to happen. It's Irvine Nights at the Greater Park Irvine live right there at 8000 Great Park Boulevard, Irvine. So you have to go and check that out. On to entertainment news. After 36 years, Beetlejuice is back, and it is racking up some huge numbers at the box office. They had an opening premiere week of $110 million. This has been a long-awaited Tim Burton sequel, and it comes back and it does well. It's in third place as the best opening weekend of the year. They are in third place, and they're just behind number 2 and number 1, which is Inside Out 2, and of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. Wow. Big numbers at the box office, people getting back out to the movie theaters. A lot of movie theater owners are having problems because people have such elaborate television and surround sound, and they have that whole theater experience at home. But you know what? Nothing ever beats getting your family out and going to a movie theater, getting some popcorn, and just being able to kick back in the AC and enjoy it. So, hey, get out and catch a movie. I'm sure the actors will love it, the producers will love it, and of course, the movie theaters, they need your business. business. So go get out and have a little fun. Speaking of fun, make sure you get your tickets now for the Coat of Arms Military Fashion Show. Again, that's going on November 9th at the Brea Community Center. Tailored to the stars, James Andrew Lunar, he's going to roll out his new Coat of Arms military style suit line. Again, this is benefiting our men and women of the armed services. James has some incredible technology. There's going to be a VIP reception to kick off the day. This is an opportunity. If you are a local business and you want a booth, if you want to be a sponsor, get in contact with us. You can go check out the website at www.thecoatarmslimited.com. That is www.thecoatarmslimited.com. Thecoatarmslimited.com. And you will definitely be able to check out the website, check out some of the cool t-shirts and things that are available. Get your caps now. There's some other cool things. Make sure you buy your tickets. It's $35. It's for a great cause. And it is going to be going to programs to help our active duty military and our veterans in need. So make sure you check it out. Again, Coat of Arms Military Fashion Show. It's going to be hot. It's going to be a great night. Live music, other great entertainment. We got some great sponsors. Big shout out to PepsiCo's on board. We also have Galpin Motors. They're on board. Mercury Insurance, 90.3 FM. We've got some other great people. We really want you to come be a part of this great event. Don't miss it. November 9th, Brea Community Center. That is the Coat of Arms Military Fashion Show. And that's going to wrap it up for this special Sunday evening broadcast. And we definitely want you to have a restful evening and get ready for a great start to the week. And I'm Rodney Allen Rippy, and you've just heard another 90.3 FM RadioSuerte report.